Hello everyone, this is Ronnie. Just a quick video. I've not been making videos very consistently. Sorry about that. I've been putting out some interviews, but not a lot of my own videos. And I just wanted to update you on some travels I have coming up and some experiences I've had recently. I recently came back from the Dutch Fruit Festival, and you can, if you search for that online, you should find information about it quite easily. Dutch Fruit Festival. That was near Eindhoven, very close to Eindhoven Airport, very easy to get to, and we had really fantastic weather. We had a really beautiful time. I was sharing a room with Grant Campbell, with Doug Graham, with Damien Gardenick, and we had a great fun time in our room. Lots of great conversations, and enjoyed the company a lot. Enjoyed sharing the room with them. Uh, and it was a great location. There was so much space there. There was so many places to go for walks. It was a kind of a resort complex with different areas, and we had one building, and outside of that there was lots of different fields and activity places and things. The only one thing was some of the activity things were closed off to us, so maybe we could try and arrange another time to get access to some of those things and get involved in some of those activities. That could have been nice, but didn't happen this time around. Fair enough, but and once again, a cool group of people to hang out with, spend time with. There was plenty of activities. There was lectures and talks. We had the morning exercise, which I was getting involved in quite a lot. The fitness classes with Doug. We had food demos. There was some calls by Zoom. We had a dance party night, which was quite fun. Uh, Campfires, and we had a talent show, which was pretty nice as well. So we had all of this stuff going on. A good time. We had some really great fruit. We had some fantastic melons. Doug was saying they were the best melons he'd had in Europe, which is obviously very high praise. So we had some fantastic fruit there, and I would look forward to going back another time. And I will be traveling very soon, tomorrow actually, to New York for the Woodstock Fruit Festival, which starts on Sunday, the 21st of July. Sunday the 21st. This will be my 10th time at Woodstock, my 10th time, I think. And I guess this video might reach some people from Woodstock who are going. Well, I look forward to being there, and if any of you know me from here or whatever, I would be absolutely open to spending time with anyone, having just on a on a I don't know what level do you want to call that, just on a friendship level, I suppose. So I do not speak at Woodstock. I'm not a teacher there. I'm not involved in the festival. I don't help organise it in any way, shape, or form. I don't add any. Um, don't really add any advice or anything, or get involved in any way. I pretty much trust the people that run that, and I don't get in the way of any of that. I have went to the event 9 times before, and there's always a funny thing where sometimes at some point in the year you wonder why if you went so many times, or why are you going back, and you're trying to remember what it is, or what is, and then you turn up and you remember straight away. And these these events, to me, they're special places. There is something unique about them. There is a wonderful energy about them. I just think, I personally, because I do this sort of a lifestyle, it's great to be around other people who are doing that together. And I think that create something special. But it's a a great place to go. It's a great part of the world. The weather's almost always perfect there. Um, the air is clean. There's the water in the lake. It's an amazing view to look out on, and there's a feeling of real relaxation there that you don't get in a lot of other places. I think, or a lot of other, I don't know, types of holiday or whatever. To me, there's a great sense of relaxation. There's obviously I've got an advantage in that I've been and I know not a huge amount of people there, but I know a bunch of the people who are there, and I will know people who are there this year. And it's nice to see them again. And over the years, you develop really strong connections with these people, although not necessarily that I'm in touch with them all the time, but just through the years of knowing each other, that you have a bond with these people and you've been through the shared experience of being at these festivals. So I think that they are very special. It saddens me when I see friends who have been in the past or have been a number of times who can't make it, or and not often for the best, sometimes for good reason, and sometimes the reasons are a little bit like wishy-washy reasons, you know. And someone said something like, well, I've got a lot of taxes this year or something like that, which kind of implies they've made a lot of money. So I'm not sure what the big worry is, but uh, and I think other people, I think a mistake people make is getting too much involved in the event. You know, some people want to take on a class or take on things, and this adds on extra pressure or stress to a person, and they have to be organising something and trying to prepare for a class, and what's everyone going to think, and where am I going to go, where is the class, and it becomes, you know, if you're coming to be a speaker or a teacher, then that's fine, but I think it's far better position to come as an attendee. Some people like to come as volunteers as well, and that's a great program and a generous program. But I think once again, I think sometimes people can get involved in an event and want to become a volunteer, and then all of a sudden they're essentially working at it and not enjoying it as they did before, and they get burned out a little bit sometimes. So I personally am not looking to volunteer, but I obviously have respect for the people that do that. But I've always wanted to be, I always see that my best contribution to these events is to be an attendee, and I don't have a great desire to change that or be a speaker or try and do something or a workshop. Sometimes I think I did offer once, maybe. Occasionally I've offered like a workshop or something, but I don't really strongly want to do it, and I'm quite happy just to not be part of it in that way. So I love the place. I love the place. I feel good there. I feel a real sense of well-being there. I feel like a real relaxation, well-being, rejuvenation of the spirit, special kind of a feeling just being there in that community and that energy for that period of time is why I go back. I still learn things there, but in terms of about this lifestyle, I would say that it's I think for people that are starting off, it's a great place, and I would encourage you to go to the lectures and spend time asking questions to the speakers. Personally, I feel like I've seen, the only reason I say it's because I've run my own events. I know that people coming to these events are not just beginners often to this, but real beginners. And they need basic information, and sometimes the speakers are going into the higher echelons of excellence and raw vegan diet And I'm just thinking, this a lot of these people haven't given up meat yet. Right? This is the first week ever they've went without cheese. Let's maybe try and explain to them why that's a good thing. Let's maybe explain to people why it's worth making a change to your diet long term. A lot of people are only making that 1 week commitment. I'm going to come to this thing, try and be healthy for a week, see how I feel and all that. Um, why give up caffeine, salt, processed sugar, oil? Why give these things up? And we're acting like these people all know all that stuff already, and they often don't. And to then present lectures that are, here's all the problems with the raw vegan diet, well, that's not very motivating to people who are desperate for making a step forward in their life. If you start to tell them that there's all these dangers and problems and you can get less nutrition in a raw diet, and it's all nonsense. Like, that kind of message is complete nonsense, but it's in some people's best interest to try and scare people and put these really silly messages across. And sometimes at these events, we see these silly messages go out there. So, I mean, I don't always agree with all of the information that's put out there, and I think far more information needs to be put out there of a positive light, and why the standard diet and why cooked foods are not a way to go for better health. So I come from it from that perspective. Um, I've not really seen the full schedule this year. It doesn't matter to me too much. I'd love there to be sports on the schedule. I've always loved getting involved with the sports. That's always been a really fun part of the event. But there might not be much sports in the schedule. I don't know. I'll just do my own thing, I suppose, and try and arrange to play games with other people. Um, there's often interesting things happen in the evenings, activities, and there's a dating thing, speed dating, which can be quite nice just to meet people, even if you're not trying to date or whatever. Um, what else is there going on at Woodstock? I like going on the hikes, going into the woods. You got to watch out because of the poison ivy, because America's like a crazy country with, I don't know, bears and scary things. So, and poison ivy. So you got to watch out for that kind of stuff. So it's all interesting. You can go out in the lake with all the boats, swim in the lake. Very cool. So it's a cool place. It's a fun place. Um, there'll be probably a talent show, some live music, some dance parties. But to me, like, a lot of the magic of these events is the conversations and the meeting new people and having really great conversations and like heart to heart conversations, and for some reason the relationships that you can have at these events and the people that you meet can be of a really high quality, and that you are immediately having conversations of real depth and connection and vulnerability and intimacy, if you want to use that word to a degree, and people really have special strong experiences with the people they meet. And I don't know if that's just the kind of people that go to these events, or the atmosphere of the event creates that situation and people are around people they don't know, so they're not being judged as from what they are in the past and all that kind of stuff. For people that are single, it can be a good place to meet others. It's not as great for me, I suppose, because uh, most of the people there are not going to come from where I come from, so it's not ideal to start long distance relationships or relationships with people with other countries. Um, but that has happened to me a couple of times, and I have met people there, and that's led to important experiences in my life as well. So going to events, meeting people in real life is such a bigger thing than online. Totally different. and the relationships you have. I mean, I think back to events I went to 10 years ago, people I met once, twice, maybe even once, and I still have a stronger connection with them than people that I've been involved with online many times. I still like trust that person more, know them more, just because I was with them for 3 or 4 days at an event, or a week at an event, and really got to know them. So I do think there's something really special about going in real life, and I think people that aren't going for wishy-washy reasons are making a mistake. Like, I just think that there's not a lot of great things. There's not a lot of really truly amazing things in life, you know. Um, I personally started going to these events, and I've really not found anything that matches these kind of fruit festival events for me personally. Um, the community, the type of people that go, the experiences that happen, the energy of these events. I've not found something else like that in terms of just pure enjoyment. Now, I might find something where I get better education, or education on particular topics, or something where I can, I don't know, get more of something else out of it, or focus more on certain specific things. But as an all round experience, and as just an enjoyable holiday, and I think a lot of raw vegans are not getting this about these fruit festivals. It is just a fantastic holiday, and too many people are thinking, well, I'm a raw vegan already, I don't need to know this stuff, as if it's all about lectures. And the lectures are a part of it, it's a part of what's on offer. And for people that are new to it, it's a huge part of the value of going. But for me, like, the value of going now is yes, the talks and the activities which I will take part in, but the the people, the community, the spirit of the place, the energy, the relaxation, the well-being. It's just, and the food, and I've not even mentioned the food, but you know, I do think Woodstock is fantastic for the food, and it has been the last few years. I think it has been the last 5, 6, 7 years. Um, the first couple of years I went, the food was not that great at times, and part of the reason for that was they had orders that went missing. I think they had a year where like a truck, one of their lorries crashed, and they lost a lot of stuff. Things like that happened. But the last few years they've had really top quality produce from my perspective, and just stuff available all day long. And they have teams. They have the sugarcane team. That's just amazing to have sugarcane in the morning. They had an orange juice team. I don't know if they do the orange juice anymore. Sometimes they do. They have a banana cinnamon rolls team that just make banana cinnamon rolls. They have ice cream out, banana ice cream out most of the time. They had mamey ice cream. They had food demos with donuts that were just amazing. Chef Ocean, who I really admire him, and I think he's a fantastic food demo person. Like, I don't know what the name for that is, but he's a great presenter and a great teacher when it comes to raw food. And it's just a great team. I love the people there. You know, that's what it all comes down to. My friend Tom, who was the chef at the UK festival, he'll be there. Alfredo, who's another friend who I've been on holidays, been to Florida with, spent time with. Just another exceptional guy, you know. And Jeanette, who has played a big part of the festival. I think she's running it more. Um, Anne's no longer really part of it at the moment, I think. Maybe that'll change in the future, but she's not going to be there this year. And Yulia, that does such a great job. And Mike, who obviously founded the whole thing and plays quite a background role, really. I think he leads some runs occasionally, does a talk, but doesn't get involved too much. And but he's an inspiration to many people, obviously. So that's Woodstock. And right after Woodstock, kind of a long video. I'm not going to stay in New York too long after it. Sometimes used to try and stay in Manhattan for a while or in New York, and there'd be Fruit Lux and stuff. But I'm gonna go on to the Austria festival. So from the 31st of August to the 4th of September, there is the Austria Frischer Fruchte Festival, Fresh Food Festival Austria, and that's near Salzburg, relatively near Salzburg. A place called Bogenhausen or something like that. And, it'll be another 5-day festival run by Raphael Resch and his mother Gabriel Resch. And I was there a couple of years ago and I'm going back. So that'll be my 5th festival of the year. So the Ecuador Festival, the Amazon Fruit Festival in Ecuador, the UK Festival, Dutch Festival, New York Woodstock Fruit Festival, and the Austria Fruit Festival. So it's been a long time since I went to 5 festivals in a year. It's been a long time since I've done that. I did do it in the past, but I'm glad to be doing it again, and I look forward to meeting some of you there. There's still tickets left for both of these. For Woodstock, I believe there's tickets left. For Austria, I believe there's tickets left. They did stop the registration, but they have had cancellations. So if you want to grab a ticket for that, and once again, it will be classes with Dr. Douglas Graham will be there. I think Grant's going to be there. Probably maybe give a talk. Raphael himself is a great presenter. If you speak German or your English isn't so good, there's translations for people. And from what it looks like, just another great location, great food, raw food, obviously, and I'm just looking forward to getting to know people and being around people and having a cool time. So I really highly encourage you to reach out and find out about these events and make a decision to go. And every year you say, I'll go next year, I'll go next year. That's never going to change. That feeling inside you is never going to change. You have to push through that feeling and actually book to go. And I look forward, I hope to see some of you there. So thank you very much for watching. And any questions, I've got limited ability to answer questions about these events because I don't know everything about them, but you can feel free to ask me a question below. So thank you very much, everyone.